Romans chapter 1, verse 16. For I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of God to salvation for everyone who believes, for the Jew first, and also for the Greek. It is always great to come together as a congregation of God's people and worship the Lord in the way that He has outlined in His Word. Yesterday was especially meaningful as we watched someone respond to the invitation asking for prayer of strength and encouragement. Then last night we had the opportunity to watch as Garrett Comer obeyed the gospel and was baptized into Christ. The gospel is the single most powerful thing in the world. The gospel has the power to save every soul in the world today. Acts chapter 10, verses 34 through 48, Peter was speaking of the gospel and telling about the history of God's people. Upon speaking, the household of Cornelius heard the word, believed, and was baptized. Paul also had these types of experiences with the gospel of seeing the gospel at work in people's lives. But Paul also witnessed the gospel working firsthand in his life. Acts chapter 9, the Lord appeared to Paul in a bright light, and Paul, being known to persecute Christians, met Ananias and was baptized for the forgiveness of his sins. We all have stories that we can tell of how powerful the gospel is and how it has affected each of our lives. The gospel can and will change our perspective and thinking in the way we live our lives. We have read the fruits of the Spirit and how our attitudes should be. We have examples of men and women in the Bible who have lived these characteristics to the fullest, and examples of men and women in the Bible who have fallen short. The gospel has the power to reach down and pull anyone from the tightest grip sin has on anyone. It becomes our responsibility to remind each other of this and to assist anyone who is in need of the saving power of the gospel. We often become so caught up in sin that we cannot see the way out. My challenge to everyone is to keep the power of the gospel before us and to let the power of the gospel work in our lives and in the lives of those around us.